Hi, my gorgeous friends! Today's video is the first weight loss vlog of a new series that I'm starting here on the channel. For those who don't know me, I'll take a brief moment here to introduce myself. My name is Zabrena. I usually make makeup videos here on YouTube. Just had my third child 8 weeks ago, and I gained a lot of weight when I was pregnant, needless to say. I always do for some reason. I did the same with my first two children, lost all the weight from both of them, thankfully, before I got pregnant with the next one. And I learned a lot in the journey. So, seeing that this is my last journey of weight loss, of this amount, I might add, I wanted to document it and share tips and tricks with others that have helped me that might possibly help someone else. So this will be a weekly series that will publish every single Saturday. I'll be sharing progress updates, how I'm doing in my weight loss journey, what I've learned that week, if I've learned anything new. I'm sharing tips and tricks that have worked with me in the past that I'm still implementing now. Recipes especially will be a huge part of these videos. I'll be sharing a recipe at the end of every single one of them. And they're not going to be formal. These videos are very relaxed. You get to see me in my home environment. There is nothing being filmed in the studio for this series, so you may see me in the living room one day, you may see me in my bedroom like I am right now. So I'll talk a little bit about the diet that I have been on, what I have been doing to help lose the weight. I don't know how much I gained total, simply because once I hit this one number when I got pregnant, I literally stopped weighing myself because it was so depressing. I gained more in my third pregnancy than I did in my first two. I will just say that right now to you. And then after I had Ace, I lost 25 pounds initially. That was just with the fluid and the baby and everything else that came out. But after that 25 pounds came off after having him, I went on and have lost a total of 16 pounds on my own. And that is without exercise. That was in the first 6 weeks postpartum because I couldn't exercise at that point. And it was simply by changing my eating habits. And I'm not breastfeeding either. Medically, I cannot breastfeed. I have tried many times and I have way too many medical issues that I had with Jet and Gia, so I didn't even attempt to breastfeed this time with Ace. Sad to say, but some of us are just not blessed in that area. Thank goodness for formula. Now, something that's always stuck with me is from a fitness instructor I had years ago, and she told me that weight loss is 80% in the kitchen, 20% in the gym, and that became very apparent to me after I had Ace, and I couldn't exercise in the first 6 weeks after having him, but just changing my eating habits alone, 16 pounds gone in 6 weeks. So that is incredibly true. So even if you can't exercise right now, you can start changing your eating habits and see that transformation begin in your body. So I'll talk more a little bit here about how I have been losing the weight. The way that I started out was I found a calorie calculator online. You can find these on Google all over the place. It doesn't matter which one you choose, but it should ask you for your height, your weight that you're currently at, and then the goal weight that you want. And it will tell you how many calories you need to consume each day to meet that goal weight. For me, I'm not going to be sharing my own numbers because I don't want to influence anyone on any level. We each are unique. We need to find our own numbers. It's very important for your own body type. But I chose the calorie level for me that helped me lose 2 pounds a week, and it has been working extremely well. And the other thing that I did was I downloaded an app. The one that I used is called My Plate, just for reference. This video is not sponsored. And I tracked my meals for a good 2 weeks to get a good feel for how I was eating, where I needed to minimize my calories. And then once I got a set caloric intake under control and I got a feel for how to eat to lose the weight, I didn't track it anymore. But I feel like that's a really good thing to start doing initially when you are looking to lose weight, because it will get you into that mode. And then once you get a feel for it, then you don't really need to track it. But I have found in the past that if I hit a plateau or I'm struggling to lose weight and I'm just not losing it, going back and tracking it will help to almost refresh your weight loss journey. And sometimes you can get yourself out of a plateau just by going back and starting to track your meals again. Now, you may remember that after I had Jet, I went on the keto diet, and that helped me lose all the weight after having him. I didn't want to do that this time simply because I have high cholesterol. I am predisposed to it genetically. So the keto diet, from what I understand, is not good for those of us who have high cholesterol. So I've stayed away from that, but I took some principles from it and have applied it to the way that I've been eating now. And basically how I eat now is fish, chicken, vegetables, and fruit. I stay away from red meat because I read that red meat is really bad for high cholesterol, but it's also something that will make you gain weight. So that's why I've been staying away from that. I've also avoided pasta because that turns into sugar the second that your body processes it. And sugar especially is something I have cut out completely from my diet. And that is the one thing, if there's one thing that you cut out, first of all, and only, just sugar, you will start to see tremendous results in your weight loss journey. That is one thing I've discovered every single time that I've had to lose weight after having my kids, is that sugar is the enemy. And I've also noticed that when I cut out sugar completely, my IBS is much better too. I don't have anywhere near the amount of attacks. Sometimes they go away completely, and I haven't had any attacks actually, now that I think about it, since I have been on the diet that I have been on. So something to think about there if you struggle with an autoimmune disease like that also. Bread is another thing that I have been avoiding for the most part, but I haven't stopped eating it completely. I will eat it every now and then, but I usually save it now for days when I'm not meeting my caloric intake that I'm supposed to meet, or if I had a really exhaustive cardio session and I need to eat more that day, then I'll add bread in. So I haven't eliminated that completely. And that's why I say this is not exactly keto, but it's taking some of the principles from that and kind of adapting them to how I'm eating now. Fruit is another thing that you cannot eat on keto, but I have noticed that even eating fruit, as long as I'm careful to watch which fruits I'm eating, I'm okay. Like apples are really good. Pineapple is something that I've tried to stay away from because it is such a high sugar fruit, but berries are some of the best low sugar fruits that you can consume when you are dieting. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. Now I have started exercising again. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that in this video, but I'll just give you a brief overview of what I have been doing. Before I had kids, I was really in love with spinning. Still love it. And to me, it's one of the best fat burning exercises out there, and it's fun. If you can find a place near you that has classes, the class environment is very motivating, and it's probably one of the quickest ways I have found to shed fat, and it's low impact. Like I cannot run because we have knee problems in my family, so I really don't want to wear out my knees, and that's why spinning is such a great exercise for someone like me. And there was a time before I had kids where I just wanted to shed a little bit off of my hip area, and I lost that in a month's time just by spinning. And after my pregnancies with Jet and Gia, I immediately went back to spin class, and I credit that and eating right with me being able to shed all of those pregnancy pounds. And so the second that I was cleared to exercise this time, I immediately went back to spin class. And so I have been doing that 3 times a week now. And just to give you an idea, in one 45-minute class of spinning, you burn 500 calories. It's a tremendously effective workout. It builds cardiovascular strength, builds your lung capacity, tones your butt, your legs, your calves. I mean, it gives you great looking legs, let me tell you what. But it's just an all-around fun exercise to do too when you're in that team environment. At this point, I have 38 pounds to lose. I have a ways to go, but I'm gonna get there. I am stubborn, determined, driven, and I'm really excited for this journey. I feel like it's really important as a weight loss vlog to show you the problem areas that I'm working on and do a before. Since this is the first video of the series, when you do before and after pictures, I mean, that really shows the weight loss journey and its effectiveness. So I'm not going to be ashamed. I am very proud of my postpartum body, and I'll just show you the areas that I'm working on and what I'm looking to improve. Okay, so I rolled my pants down here so you can see everything. I tend to gain a good majority of my weight right here in the midsection, the thighs, and the butt. So this all right here is what I'm working on getting to slim down and disappear. I thankfully did not get any stretch marks. on my stomach. I did get an umbilical hernia, unfortunately. That's what happens when you have 3 kids. So I am gonna get that repaired at some point here. But I'm trying to wait until all the weight is gone to get this repaired. That was what the doctor said. You may want to wait for that. So a little bit of waiting won't hurt us. But that's what I'm working with. And I'm really anxious to see the transformation. And by the way, let me tell you about these Adidas pants that I discovered. Oh my gosh, I love them because you can roll them up. They're high-waisted. They hide everything. They smooth you out. So while I'm going through the weight loss journey, I don't have to worry about things sticking out in places where I don't want them to. Hello there and welcome to my kitchen. I am fascinated by home interiors and I love decorating. It's just a huge passion of mine outside of makeup. So if you love interiors as much as I do, I'll give you a quick tour of the kitchen here so you can see the space that I am in its entirety. It did not look like this at all when we first moved into the house. The countertops were this really dark gray Formica and I changed them out for this beautiful granite. And this unit that you're looking at on the wall did not exist either. The wall was completely blank. I went ahead and added that to give the kitchen much more storage because the kitchen doesn't have that much storage as it was when we first moved in, and the walls were all completely white also, and I just love the blue and the tan theme. It's very warm, cozy, and yes, it's my pride and joy. I mean, this is where I spend a good majority of my time, so I really wanted to love this space, and I'm really thrilled that I was able to make it my own. The recipe that I am showing you today is one that I created. It was something that I made up because I wanted something quick, easy, simple, but tasty, and something that wasn't going to ruin my diet. And so I created this little thing that I'm getting ready to show you here. Really simple ingredient list. All you need are chicken breasts or chicken tenders. I like to use chicken tenders like this. You need a lemon and chives. I usually go with the chives that are like this, already snipped and prepared. You can use fresh chives. It's really excellent for this kind of recipe. Chives tend to go bad on me rather quickly, and I don't have time to go to the store all the time, so this became a really good alternative, and that's why I'm using that. I'm also using 2 bags of spinach for our side. Oh, and butter. You will need butter, not this much. You only need basically 1 tablespoon for this recipe that I'm getting ready to show you, so yeah, that's a heart attack in a dish, isn't it? All right, let me show you how to make this. Start off by heating your pan up to about medium-high heat, and then you want to add the butter. So I'm taking a little bit here, dropping it there, a little bit there. And just spreading it around the pan so that it evenly melts. And get the butter coated all over the bottom of that pan. And this is the point where you want to turn the heat up a little bit higher because we're going to be browning the chicken, so searing the outside. And I find tenders to be the easiest to work with because they cook fast and they remain juicy. Sometimes when you get those really thick chicken breasts, they get overdone because they're so thick. But it's really up to you how you want to make this recipe. If you don't want to use butter, you can also use olive oil as a healthier alternative. I find that butter adds a nice flavor to the chicken, and that's why I'm using it for this recipe. I usually just let this sit here for about 2 minutes tops until I start to see the edges turning white on the chicken like you can see here. And then you can start to flip the chicken over to the other side. Some of them may get stuck in the pan, which that's fine. Right there, that golden brown, that's what we're looking for. Beautiful. Then I let this cook for another 2 minutes and let the other side get browned. And while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and cut my lemon in half. And when you start to see the bottom of the pan getting brown like that, then you can go ahead and flip the chicken again. The key with this recipe that I have discovered is to keep the chicken moving. The more that it's moving, the less likelihood chance that it'll get dried out on you. And then take your lemon and squeeze it. The smell is amazing when you add the lemon to it. And you do want to flip the chicken, marinate it and that lemon butter sauce. And then take your chives, sprinkle that over the top. And then for the spinach, you could use the same pan that you used for the chicken if you want to marinate it in the pan drippings. That's really up to you. I am taking a separate pan, turning this on to medium heat, and I'm first going to put in some of this garlic butter. Go ahead and let that melt before adding the spinach. And then go ahead and add your spinach. And I'm using 2 bags, but I'm only adding them 1 bag at a time. You could also use olive oil. You could also steam the spinach. It's really up to you. I like to use flavored butter simply because I'm already so limited in what I'm able to eat here, people, okay? I want to enjoy it. So the flavored butter adds a nice touch. So good. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe. I'm getting ready to enjoy it myself. And next week I'll be showing you how to make a sweet treat that will satisfy the sweet tooth without affecting the scale. And that is cashew fudge. Oh my gosh. This is a keto dessert. One of the best I have ever tried. I have a number of them that I'll be sharing with you throughout this vlog series. If you're looking for something that will not make you gain weight, but it still feels like you're cheating, you're gonna love it. So I'll see you again next week.